Some people are really good with words, some are not, but I think clay often allows people to express through a medium which doesn't force them to speak or talk aloud. They started with a piece of clay, and finally what it led to were these beautiful, complicated gardens and serenity spaces and all kinds of imaginative fairy tale worlds that they created completely on their own, expressing something very personal to each one of them.
Recast is a British ceramics biennial project that's run in collaboration with Stoke Recovery Service. We work together to provide an offer for people in recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. So we call it a creative recovery, and they come along and join an 8-week course that's run by one of our artists. The focus is kind of on the processes and how they can complement the recovery process that people are going through at the same time.
I wasn't at all kind of drawn to it or enthused by it in the beginning, but I got cajoled into it by my therapist saying it would be good for me to get some new interests, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Hardly anybody missed a session, which is unusual. Nobody went out for fag breaks, they just wanted to get on with their creative work. It was really like watching magic work.
Okay, welcome. I'm very excited about this. Essentially, what I thought the creative task might be is creating our own sanctuaries, our own small. I got slightly obsessed not long ago with miniature Zen gardens and sanctuaries. So that's the creative task, but we're going to do a lot from scratch, absolutely every bit. It's whatever you want to make of it, anything. So yeah, grab a seat and get going. Any questions? Right.
I believe that working with clay is, I know I'm biased, but clay is just, it's the earth, and it's an amazing material that you can take from being mud, squishy, soft, messy mud, and you can turn it into something beautiful.
It feels amazing. Yeah, I love getting. It just reminds me of when I was younger, you know, and you got all mud on your hands, and well, that's the type of, you know, I love it. But to be honest, you don't think of anything else. Like my mind doesn't think of anything else but doing this while I'm doing it, and.
It's based around my children, because on my last project I did hearts, concentration on my children. So these are all represent all 4 of my kids who I don't live with. Well, the first project I thought, this is ridiculous, I'm not going to be able to do it, and I really enjoyed that. And when I got my work home I was really tough with it, so I was like really excited when I heard about this. Love anything like this.
I think clay works well with recovery because it's, especially at the beginning, you need something to focus your mind on and something to fill your hours with. Because if you haven't, then the boredom, which is a huge part of addiction, you need somewhere to channel the energy and to focus. So I think, and the clay for me was relaxing. It's creative, which I am. I just didn't think I was. And you know, you're using your brain, and you're with your fellow, you know, your peers as well, and you're all working together and chatting together. And you can chatter about recovery stuff as well as chatter about you. So it doesn't seem as if recovery is not always in a meeting room in a group where you feel like you're just talking at somebody. The recovery can be done whilst you're enjoying some other kind of activity.
I had ideas for my original bowl, then when it just catastrophically went into 2 or 3 pieces, I then realised that I had an opportunity, an optimistic opportunity to create something different. And then when I saw half of the bowl broken, I thought I'll create a landscape that was reminiscent of the event 10 years ago, which involved these spherical objects that ran up the hill on their own. For one of them's birthdays, I bought 8 massive gym balls from Argos to play with at what we call the Secret Place, which is a local coal mine. And when we blew them all up to slightly over full size, the wind direction was blowing into the hill and the balls naturally started rolling up the hill. And the kids were absolutely mesmerised by it, and it was probably one of the best memories I'll have with my children from when they were younger. I think that is the beauty of clay, is that nothing ever really breaks, it just metamorphosises into something different, because it's just so easy to mend while it's soft. That's really the main metaphor for the clay recovery aspect, is that as long as you manage to change before you go in the kiln, you'll be fine. Let's talk cremation.
So we have created everything that needed to be created with clay, and we have fired all the pieces, which thankfully have come out intact. And now they're going to glaze the pieces that need glazing, and we are going to do a raku firing outside.
Everything will be stacked in the kilns, and then we'll get it up to a temperature of about 1,000 degrees, and then take them out of the kiln at this top temperature and put them in a bucket of organic material, so quite rough sawdust, and then we leave them in there for about 10 minutes. And what that does is it starves the clay, starves the glazes of oxygen, and then you get some really interesting colours. And then we take them out and plunge them in water, and that also can have an effect on the colours, can bring them out. So it's quite a dramatic process, and it's quite risky. It's quite unpredictable. You don't know necessarily what results you're going to get from the glazes. So you have to kind of embrace that uncertainty. So I think that in that way it relates very well to the program as a process.
I absolutely love them. They've come out better than I thought. I love that they're shiny. I just love it. I just can't believe it. This is what I love about pottery. It's like life. I can expect things in my mind, and then it comes out different to what I expected it, but I absolutely love it. So that's what I find about life, living in the moment. This is part of that living in the moment. I wish if everybody could have a go, because I really don't think about anything else but this. I just think it's amazing, and the connection that you make with other people. I've only known some of these people for like 6 weeks, and I feel closer to them than I do a lot of people in my life. So with endings, it always brings space for new beginnings. So and there is opportunities, they've said, to train. So I'm very excited about that. So yes, see, space for a new beginning. It's all good.
What we hope people, once they've taken part in the project, would feel proud, that they feel like they've gained a new skill, a new passion. They've opened a part of their brain that says, actually, I'm good at something, I am creative. There's been a lot of time stuck in addiction. This is about taking opportunities, so what we would hope is that people gain a new passion for life, and they go on, and if they find that clay is their thing, that they go on and they carry on being creative, because if they've found a way to express themselves, that's amazing. Keep doing it.